What are the chances that the Eastern Conference will be much better than the Western Conference next season?
Yeah, not likely. Not likely. I really don't know. The West? I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, so let's talk about the Eastern Conference and our power rankings. Now, I know it's too early. It's really too early. We're in the off season right now, but looking forward, how do you see the Eastern Conference shaping up? What are your power rankings starting at number 5 in the East?
I'm gonna take a stretch, and this is probably gonna be a surprise to most. But when we're talking about power rankings, we're talking about maybe projecting the five best teams in the East at this point. At this point, this is July of 2022. We know that anything can change, but based off of the roster as it stands, July of 2022, I'm gonna go with the Cavs. I'm going to put the Cavs at number 5. I think they would be an upset to anybody's power ranking list if they're not listed. And the Cavs is going to be something to reckon with for the 2022-23 season. So, yeah.
Ooh,
Cavs, number 5. I
oh,
mean, we're
number.
talking about Darius Garland with that new contract. The Twin Towers, they just added Robin Lopez to that. I just, and then Colin Sexton is coming back. But what are we gonna do with that? Again, Darius Garland. I'm just saying. That energy, that length, that experience that they were able to gain in the playing tournament. I just think it's gonna be really, really nice, along with their coach. Yeah, I can't wait to see them. So I have them at number 5. It is gonna be an
Mm,
upset for sure.
okay, my number 5 are the Chicago Bulls. I feel
Ah,
like the Bulls underachieved last season. You know, Levine just re signed a 5 year, $215 million deal. He had an opportunity to go elsewhere,
he didn't want to.
and he stayed with the Chicago Bulls. I believe in the Lonzo and Caruso mix,
I love it.
that defense in Chicago. I think they have the potential to be similar to the Boston Celtics defense. So I went with the Chicago Bulls only because I think Billy Donovan is under a lot of pressure to perform next season.
Yeah.
And I have the Bulls at number 5.
I have the Bulls at number 4. They're on my power ranking list as well for the reasons you've mentioned. But you cannot underestimate the pairing of Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan. Something about that was extremely successful. As a matter of fact, if you recall, the Chicago Bulls were the top 3 seed in the Eastern Conference at the top of the season last year. And they dropped down, and they didn't drop out, they just dropped down to number 6 in the Eastern Conference
Mhm.
of 2022. Now, they got booted out in round 1 of the of the postseason, but I was really impressed with the production that they put out last season, especially with DeMar DeRozan being new to their roster. And I like what I saw. I like who they have on their roster, and I think that they are number 4 on my list for the power ranking. Yes.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. So coming in at number 4 for me is a team led by Doc Rivers,
Uh huh.
who just solidified James Harden for next season. James
Hmm.
Harden took a pay cut, meaning that he's willing to leave money on the table so that they can be better next season.
Hmm.
I went with the Philadelphia 76ers. You know, Joel Embiid will be on a rampage, I think, because he should have won MVP. He felt like it. I felt like it. He should have won. And now we get a full season of Embiid, Harden, Maxey. We did not get a chance to see that much last season. They added
Right.
PJ Tucker for toughness. I
Right.
mean, and they needed that. They needed that dog on the team because I can't say that the Sixers had one. Joel Embiid is an alpha male. Let's make no mistake about it. But the Philadelphia 76ers will be really good next season. So I have them at number 4.
That's fair. I have them at number 3. I have the Philadelphia 76ers at number 3. I think that with the fact James Harden committed to a long-term contract, no, it's not extended, but at least 2 years, right?
Mhm.
Shows me that he's going to be different. And the discussions that are currently taking place with his um off season, getting ready for the season, that's a little bit different. And so I think he'll come into this season, James Harden, with a lot more vigor. And I think that's what's needed. He'll probably be in more shape, which is needed as well. And he
Mhm.
has to prove for himself, I think. Maybe not for the Sixers, but the Sixers will benefit from his efforts, right? So yeah, I have them at number 3 on my list for the power rankings. 76ers, yes.
Oh, okay. Coming in at number 3 for me are the Cleveland Cavaliers. I know you
Oh,
had them at number 5, but I'll move
okay,
them up to number 3.
okay.
We're talking about 4 players that could potentially play in the paint, big bodies: Mobley, Allen, Robin Lopez, and let's not forget Lauri Markkanen. He's still with the Cleveland Cavaliers as well. Big athletic team, the backcourt of Garland and Colin Sexton.
Ooh, I just
Oh my
can't.
God, I was so surprised that you had them at number 5.
I have them at number 5. Yeah, I have them at number 5, but I have them on my list, right? And let's not forget they did re-sign Ricky Rubio. I must mention again, Ricky Rubio was fired before he got injured for the
Mhm.
Cavs last season. Let's not miss that. And so, yeah, no, hey, I'm all in on the Cavs. I have just to have them at number 5.
I'm all in on Karis LeVert as well. I think he's going to have a breakout season because he had this health issue, and then he didn't really get a chance to get a lot of playing time after that. I think he's going to have a breakout year. And also, I like the rookie that they drafted in Agbaji from Kansas, round one, number 14. That's just, he was a refreshing player in the NC2A tournament.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. All right. So number 2, number 1, depending on how you feel for the day, you can swap them out. But my number 2 is going to be the Boston Celtics. I still think that defensively they're the team to beat in the East. And I am not going to put anything past Coach Udoka because he proved to me in the 2022 season that he knows how to create a team, get the team on board, and have them perform at their highest. I mean, they went to the NBA Finals, and so what we talking about? So yeah, I just say between Jalen and Jason, Marcus Smart. Oh, they just added Malcolm Brogdon. I just Time Lord is still there. I am loving the entire roster. The fact that they were able to acquire new players and give up the people that they weren't even using anyway. I just saying the whole Boston Celtics. I'm looking forward to a repeat of the 2022 season for the Boston Celtics. So yes, they're number 2 on my power rankings.
Ooh, number 2 for me is the Milwaukee Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can stop Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think that is pretty clear. He is the best player in the league right now. Surpass LeBron and KD and all those guys. Giannis is just like in a world of his own to me.
Love
And
Giannis.
then you add in a healthy Chris Middleton. It's almost like pick your poison, you know? Because if you try to stop Giannis, Middleton's going to go off. If you stop Middleton, Giannis is going to get his. So no, I really like that they kept their core tight in the
Yeah,
offseason. They didn't go out and try to do anything fancy. They re-signed Connaughton and Bobby Portis. So like the Bucks are going to be great. They weren't fantastic in the postseason
yeah.
only because of Middleton's absence. So I have them at number 2.
Is my reason for having the Bucks at number 1. I have the Bucks at number 1 because Chris Middleton will be back, right? And we realize in the 2022 postseason that Chris Middleton is the Bucks X factor. Let's
Yeah.
not forget that. So with him not being on the court, I believe it jeopardized the Bucks from going to the NBA Finals this past season, and I believe they can do it again this season. So yeah, the Bucks are my number 1 on the power ranking.
I think it's pretty obvious that the Boston Celtics are number 1 for me. I mean, coming off of a
Yeah,
championship
yeah, yeah,
run,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
the addition of Brogdon, all the stuff that you
yeah,
mentioned.
yeah,
I
yeah.
just like their defense. And if it's true that defense wins championships, then they're up for one. They're due. They're due. Oh my goodness.
Absolutely. If you think about it, we did not have the Nets or the Heat. Why didn't you put the Nets or the Heat on your list?
The Nets, I was really excited about them last season and the season before that.
They're not gooping me again.
They disappointed
You
me.
will not get me season 4 of the Brooklyn Nets matchup. And I'm considering Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant still being on the roster. You're not gonna goop me again. So for
Mhm.
me, I had a note about the Nets. Prove it to me. But right now I'm not putting no, they don't get nothing from me.
Mhm.
This no. When you start proving it, then I'll get on back on. But y'all gooped me for the past 3 seasons. I'm not getting gooped again. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I didn't consider the Miami Heat on my power rankings
Me
because
either.
I just feel like their roster is becoming stale. And what
Mhm.
I saw last season, I just remember seeing Jimmy Butler doing everything and being all things for the Miami Heat. Didn't see much from Bam Adebayo. Didn't see anything from Duncan
Oh
Robinson.
my
PJ Tucker even was like, you know what? I'm out of here. Kyle Lowry didn't show me anything. The only glimmer of hope was Tyler Hero and Jimmy Butler. I didn't see much from anyone else. I mean,
I
Max
will.
Strus tried to get busy, but it's still, I
Wasn't
can't put them
enough.
on my list.
And then they brought in Goran, and now he's not there anymore. Like, it's
Mhm.
just, I'm going to hold firm to this, and I know people may have a different scene of opinion in this, but Tyler Hero helped carry the Heat in the 2022 season. I'm sorry, he helped carry them. If it wasn't for him coming off that bench, reigniting the offense, I don't know what they would have done. I don't know what they would have done. So yeah, I'm not considering the Heat. The Heat is another team that need to prove it to me for next season, because I'm not going to be even putting my eggs in their basket. I'm not doing it.
Right. What about Victor Oladipo? Did you consider him at all
Did
in your
not.
process?
However, I did not consider him. However, I think he was a good pickup for them. I know that he's going to be there next season as well. So again, let's see. Let's see. It has to be someone other than Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero to help the Heat move deep into the playoffs. I know they get there, and that's fine. But again, I'm looking for the Heat to finally make the finals and win. When will this Heat roster, with this said talent on paper, hoist the trophy? That's what win. And until I feel that they can do that for the 2023 season, I can't put them on my power rankings right now. Just can't. But I'll still be checking for them though. Now, in order to get into the playoffs, you need 6 teams, right? 6 teams solidifies a solid playoff spot. And we gave you our 5 power rankings, but we do have a bonus. So one more would make 6. So who you got for the 6th spot?
Oh, the Toronto Raptors.
Uh-huh.
Toronto Raptors will be
Yeah.
my bonus team. It's hard not to include a Nick Nurse led team. Nick Nurse won his championship 2019,
Sure
as
did.
you always like to bring up. So yeah, Nick Nurse. I like to see the second year of this current starting five,
Yes.
because Fred missed some time last season. OG,
Mm-hmm.
Scotty was even out for a while. So I want to see, and they included Otto Porter Jr.
Yes, they
for
did.
next season. So yeah, he's
Yeah.
an NBA champion. So I'm
Yeah.
going with the Toronto Raptors.
That would be my bonus as well. Toronto Raptors. Yep. Yep. Toronto Raptors, for all the things you've mentioned. I'm looking forward to seeing them move up in the rankings, have a solid playoff spot again, and really taking it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I think they can do that. I mean, can all teams do it? Yes. But some teams are a little bit more hopeful than others. And I think the Toronto
Mhm.
Raptors, again, led by Nick Nurse, can make it happen. So yeah, Toronto Raptors would be my bonus. My top 6 would be in the power rankings would be Bucks, Celtics, Sixers, Bulls, Cavs, and the Raptors.
And I have the Celtics, the Bucks, the Cavaliers, 76ers, Bulls, and the Raptors. So we kind of have some of the same teams, just in
We
different orders. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And who we don't have are the Nets and the Heat. Why you don't have the Knicks on your list?
The New York Knicks. I
Yes.
mean, Jalen Brunson is going to be good, and Julius and RJ, but no, they still have Evan Fournier. Like, no, they're not. Come on. The Knicks, maybe if we had a top 10, I might consider them.
Top 10.
Yeah.
Wow, 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 wow. Would you consider swapping out any one of your top 6 with the Hawks
No,
at this stage? Not right now.
nah, no, not at all. I think the Hawks will be pretty good, but
Hmm.
there'll still be some figuring out to do
Yeah, that's
between
fine.
Trey and DeJounte, because it's almost like, oh, who's going to handle the ball mostly? Because DeJounte usually haven't have the ball in his hands with the Spurs, and now that he's in a new environment, a new team, new expectation,
Hmm.
because yeah, Nate McMillan is going to have his
Interesting.
hands full managing that backcourt, and how he's going to, get the playing time together as well.
Uh huh. Good luck.